Hey there, today we are going to make our creamy garlic butternut squash noodles, and I'm going to show you how to do that from start to finish. You can always find the recipe and everything you need at bitesofwellness.com. Okay, so we're going to start by just quickly peeling our butternut squash, and just a pro tip here: when you're going to buy a butternut squash to spiralize, you really want to look for something in the grocery store that has a really long neck. And so the bulb kind of starts right here, and you want to make sure you have a nice long neck for that, okay? So all you need to do is peel this up, and then we will cut off the edges. And just a tip, I always keep a bowl around instead of trying to do this over the trash can, just in case you drop it. It's better to do this just over a cutting board with a bowl to kind of use, okay? Once the butternut squash is peeled, you just want to cut off the end. And then you're going to have a bulbous part where all the seeds grow. So you're going to try to cut as close. You want the neck to be as long as you possibly can for spiralizing, and you just want to kind of cut it in. I always say press down. You can always bring it back up instead of trying to seesaw your way through. So this you can use for something else, roast later on. This is going to be the part that we are going to spiralize. So try to keep it flat edges and as long as possible. Okay, and once you have your butternut squash cut on both ends, you're just going to simply press it into, you want to try to get the center right in, and then you're going to press this. Make sure you have it well sealed to the ground, and then all you can do is spiralize. I have this on blade B. Once you have your butternut squash spiralized, you guys can see just how crazy long these noodles can be. You're going to want to cut your noodles down, and then you're going to want to transfer them to a baking sheet. I've already got the oven preheated to 400 degrees. We're going to transfer the butternut squash noodles to the oven and cook for 15 minutes. And while that's cooking, we'll make the rest of the dish. Okay, so the butternut squash noodles are in the oven. I'm going to go ahead and make the creamy garlic sauce. It's just like Alfredo, and it could not be easier. There are only 4 ingredients, so you need salt, water, hemp hearts, and garlic olive oil. You can find this online or at Trader Joe's. So you're going to need a half of a cup of hemp hearts, a half of a cup of water, so it's equal parts hemp hearts to water. Then you'll need 2 tablespoons of that garlic olive oil. If you can't find this, you can use 2 tablespoons of olive oil and about a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of garlic powder as well if you want to. And then the last ingredient is going to be just a pinch of salt. You need about a 1/4 to a 1/2 of a teaspoon. This will be the salt that salts the entire dish, so this may be a little salty to the taste, but once you mix it with everything, it'll be the perfect amount of salt. So I'm just going to eyeball that. And then all you have to do is put the lid on this and blend it up. So butternut squash noodles are in the oven. We just made our creamy garlic sauce. So we're going to just saute up some spinach or arugula, whatever you love. I have a cast iron skillet. It's nice and hot. I can feel the heat. I'm going to add about a tablespoon or less of oil. We're going to add, I'm just going to put this whole container in. It's going to wilt down, be really delicious. This is going to cook for about 2 minutes or so. It's done already. We're going to turn off the heat. And you guys can see the butternut squash noodles were in the oven for 15 minutes at 400 degrees. They are nice and al dente. They're done, but they're not breaking apart. If you boil these, they tend to have the tendency to break apart. That's why I prefer the oven method. So I'm just going to add the butternut squash noodles to the arugula and spinach, and then we're going to just top it with the rest of the sauce, and we'll be done. Just pour that on. You guys can see creamy and luscious. And then you just want to stir it up. You can get this creamy garlic butternut squash noodle pasta recipe and lots of other simple recipes at bitesofwellness.com.